everyone, Diane here from Decoeasy, the channel of me and my mother-in-law Jenny. Thank you so much for stopping by because we have a new DIY for you. Are you ready? Let's go and start crafting. Here we have our tumbling tower blocks, of course, from the action. I also have a painting frame from the action with canvas, and I found some nice prints, summer prints, lemon decor prints that I'd like to use. And yeah, what do we need more? That is glue, brushes, and maybe some paint. Here are some blocks. What I first would like to do is, oh, the camera is doing annoying, is grab this frame, turn it over, because this here will be our workspace, and I'd like to make a heart. So I want to know how much blocks do we need to get that heart done. Just going to see how many blocks I can put in. I think that is enough. And then we go back down. And I'm wondering if I want to do it like this, or that I want to do it differently, but that you can figure out yourself. No, I don't like this. Nope, I want it differently. Then just take these off. I'm going to go down like that. And then one in the center. Well, it's a little bit not completely in shape, I'm aware of that. But this is how many blocks we need for the heart. You can also make something different. So I'm going to put the rest aside. We don't need those. Oh, I'm going to replace the camera. Sorry, there is a little annoying edge here appearing every time. So here's our heart. This is what I want to make. I'm going to use these. And now the printables come in. Here I have some. These, just found them on the internet. They were free to print, so that's what I did. Now I'm first going to redo the camera because this is annoying me. And then I'll be cutting out those prints so I really know where I can glue my blocks. Good. Now I also bought in the fake Mod Podge from Action. 17 times cheaper than real Mod Podge, so I always use this one. It does practically the same, only not the sealing. That is not working with this kind. They have a different kind of varnish, so if you want to seal everything, you can use that separate bottle. Also have a small brush. And what I'm going to do now is take these blocks, and here are the prints that I cut out. Now let me count how many I have. I'm going to make stacks of 3 so that I know how many I have to put into each kind of print. Well, there might be, yeah, there is one extra. Okay, so this is how many blocks we need for this print. Now let's turn it over. Let me see. Yeah, and then I bet I need more of this. I'm just going to start. Oh no, I don't need more. What I'm going to do, I'm going to lay them down like that. But first, I want to put on some glue on top. And there is another fly here, really annoying. So just glue it down. Then you grab your brush. And then you start brushing out the glue. And of course, as always, I use way too much glue. Let me scrape that off. I'm going to use that on another block. I always do this. I think, oh, I don't have enough. Let's use some more. And I end up always with a thick layer of glue. That is not what I wanted. But we solved it like this. Okay. Now just lay it down. Just like this. And then repeat it with the other blocks until you have everything glued down. Then you need to wait till the glue is dry. And after that, you can just use a small knife and maybe a file if necessary to cut the shapes of those things out. We're waiting for the blocks to dry. That will take, I think, at least half an hour. Now we grab, in the meantime, the frame and a knife, because once you make a cut here, hopefully that will work out. Because again, then we're going to use the frame. This is not really handy what I'm doing. Just cut the edges, and then hopefully when we're cutting long enough, that will be a cut in the canvas. Like here. Nope. And then you can just tear it apart like this. That might get dusty, so be careful what you're doing if you're having something with your clothes or something like that. I'm going to repeat this all around the complete frame, and then at the end you can just pull this off, and here on this side are some staples, but then you gotta be really carefully just pull, and then you can, oh, this one goes easy, just cut it off like that. Don't pull too hard, you might remove the staple, and that is not what we want. No, just like this, and you can throw this away. And here goes the last one. Only one staple left. Almost there. I thought I could pull it off. Well, apparently not. Just do some cutting here and there. And then I'm sure it will come off soon. Yeah, there it is. Now, carefully keep this thing. Don't tear it apart. Let me see. I've never used this kind of frame, but it looks pretty cool. Yeah. What I want to do now, let's make sure that this is, do this one in, otherwise we might cut ourselves. Lay this flat and put this right on, just like so. Oh, there is a staple standing up here. That is not what we want. Just carefully push it back in, if it's possible to do that, which I really hope it is. Yeah. Okay, it's back in. Now you can lay down flat. And that is exactly what we want to do. Okay, let's turn it over. And yeah, I think we're going to get some more glue in here. frame is now completely painted. I painted it 2 times so it has a nice coverage. Now it's time to bring these blocks in and we can start gluing them down. So that's what we're going to do. Just sort them out in all the colors that you have. Just like so. And then we're going to make the heart shape again. I think we have to start with this one here in the middle, because we have the most of that. Now we're going to continue. And let's see how we get these. This one here. This one back here. Maybe we're going to make it differently. Okay, I have everything in the right place. Now it's time to add those blocks to the canvas, and therefore I'm going to work with, you can use the glue gun or glue like this, just what you prefer. I think I'm going to use this glue because then it can still move around a little bit here and there. I want actually a new brush. I'm going to get myself a new brush, and then I start, well, let's see, with this one here, so I can actually maintain the figure as it is right now, because it is in a perfect place, centered out, and then I can start working around or working like this, just whatever I like to do. Here you see how it looks right now. The only last thing I want to add are some leaves, and I also have a bag of small lemons, and I have this big palm leaf here. And I'm going to use small parts, for example this, and I think that would look here nice, a little bit in the corner or something like this. Maybe you can stick them in between, whatever you like. And here is the final reveal of this DIY. I really like the lemons in combination with those palm leaves and the prints upon the heart and the summer letters. I think they look really nice into an interior. Here, for example, in the living room. You can also hang it up or put it upon your children's chambers or something. Okay, let us know what you think of this. Make some sort of storage crate idea. And therefore I have these two, what are they actually? Signs. That's why I bought them, as a sign. So they have a standard, you can put them on like that. And they come from a garden center from, believe it or not, the Christmas clearance sale. And the price was originally $4.50 in euros, but we got them with 40% discount, and we still didn't use them, despite that we bought them 1 or 2 years ago. And yeah, the labels are still attached, so I'm going to let that off. Here you can also see a wintry print, a snowflake print. I'm not want to use that for today's DIY, so I'm going to remove these. And I'd like to craft with Jenga blocks today. And that's what we have this package here. This one comes from the Action, similar to Dollar Tree here, but then in the Netherlands. And yeah, really they sell everything over there. Paint and glue, brushes, whatever you want. Okay, let's go and we make our start crate. First things first. We have our sticky gum here that's being used for, you know, attaching posters to the wall and everything, but you can also craft with it if you make it warm between your fingers. And the reason I want to have that today is because of this thing. This is going to be on the inside, so you're not going to see it that much, but we still want to cover it up, and I don't want to rip it off because I tried to, and there are some screws here, but I can hardly reach them. So this was a good idea, I thought. And the good thing is that you can carefully take these two off. Look, now they're stuck, and if you want to do something else with it, you can just tear them off carefully and without any damage to your surface. Okay, now these are done. Now I want to measure how much I will need for some kind of bottom idea. How long or wide, how many blocks can we put upon the bottom section? Just not completely what I had in mind. Yeah, then it's got to be something like this. So it's going to be 6. We have this thing here, so that is quite a thing. Not really thinking what I should do with it. Despite, we can also measure how many blocks we need for the side parts. Just laying it down like this. What is a good scale? Will this be large enough? Or do we want to have bigger? I think this is cool. So 4. Let me try 5, but I think that's going to be too big. No, not happy with that. I'm going to use 4 in the length. What I can start doing is using blocks to make a length part. Good, time to start making the bottom section. And therefore I found some of these second-hand, actually just reused wooden blocks in my stash. So I'm going to glue these 4 all together, and then hopefully I have a bottom section for that. I actually don't want to put them all, you know, beside each other like that, but I think we're going to leave some space here open in between. So we can make this work. And then you really get some sort of crate idea. So you get this, for example. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's not straight, but I'm going to place the other one over here. And of course, I also need to make the side parts. Bottom section is done. We have 4 of these, 4 by 4. And now I want to use these other new blocks on the side parts because they look better and you don't see the bottom part that well. So yeah, I'd like to reuse some pieces because this wood is pretty expensive. And yeah, parts I don't use anymore. Why don't I turn it over into something new? I'm going to do the same thing, but then with these blocks, just add glue upon it and glue them together. Just like so. And then you get one big piece. And these are for the side parts. It's painting time, and therefore we have the blackboard paint that Jenny and I use a lot. Just apply it with a brush if it wants to open. This is weird. Normally it opens much. Yeah, there it is. Okay, and of course let it dry afterwards. Okay, my fingers are black and all those blocks are laying to dry. Now I think it is time to start painting these. I removed the sticky gum because I still got the paint underneath, and yeah, I also have tape here because I want this front side part to be another color. So that is why I'm going to tape that part. So the paint won't be on the surface where I don't want to have it. Oh well, this needs some more efficiency, of course, but that will do. With the tape won't be a problem. So let's make this neat, and then we can start painting everything except this side of the board. Oh well, just tear it up then. Try. I have too much paint on my fingers. Should have washed my hands first. Something like this. And then a little bit of that here. Yeah, it's annoying because these edges are round. And another point here. And that's how we're going to do the whole plaque. You can see I tried to do my best to put the tape onto the board. Now first turn it over, and I think I start painting here because you got to go all underneath, just deep like that. Don't forget the edges of that standard as well, because now you can still paint it right. Once you're going to let it down, that will be a hard thing to do. Oh. So make sure, don't drop that thing. Make sure that you're painting it right before you drop that section. Well, let's continue to do that side as well. This is going to be the inside, so don't worry about that you're doing it not neat enough, because I don't think you're going to see it that well. Okay, let me check. Is everything painted here underneath? I think so. Here are some drips. Let's get that off. Okay. Here as well. Oops. Painting that side is better. Okay, let's drop it. And now I can paint the rest of the back part. And when that is done, I will move to the front side, or this side actually, not the front side, but the side of this thing. Because then we need to paint the sides, but first then I want this to be dry. So I'm not hitting any paint that might not be dry yet. And there we go. And of course I'm going to repeat the same steps on the other black thing as well. Let's slide the paint into one direction. And that dries up pretty neat. And there we have the black part. Here on the other one I'm painting the sides first, because that's also what you can do. Now you just have to go back and forth with your brush, because the tape did the most of the work, and you get a real good result with this. So yeah, that might help you. It is quite a thing to put the tape on if you have round edges, but I think it's worth it. You get a, yeah, really modern result, I think. Okay, let me finish these off. I'm going to let it dry, and then I'll be back with you. Okay, they're dry. Time to grab off the tape. Let's start with the top section. This is a nice result, I think. We can be happy with this. Not completely straight, but however, that was super hard to do with round edges. One last piece of tape. And there we have it, the result. Ta-da! Now I grab the beeswax stuff, and I'm going to beeswax it. You can put this, you can put tape upon it, but don't think I will do it because I have a really small brush for that job. Plus, this layer of chalkboard, yeah, plaque thing, is a little bit higher than the rest of the wood because it's glued upon it. So yeah, I think we can put beeswax around it, but if you're not confident, then I suggest taping it off will be an idea. I apologize for the light. I just realized that I left the curtains open here behind me. Now it is better to see. Here is beeswax. Let me show you one time the result of the tape. Pretty neat. Yeah, well, of course, here and there are some little things, but we can't help that. Okay. I use the same old brush every time for the beeswaxing. Dab it in. And I'd like to dab in the lid, as always, to get that excess beeswax off. Now start here. I'm carefully going to move like this. Just back and forth. And you can see the color of the wood changing pretty much. And we buy this at the drugstore. And I don't think how that is really expensive. I don't know the price anymore, but anyway, it lasts super long. Here's some more. I like this look. With the beeswax, you can clearly see a difference. And it has a lot more vintage farmhouse look with that beeswax. I'm going to do the rest as well, and then we can start assembling the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to assemble the side parts of the DIY, and therefore I have 4 of these wooden blocks. I'm going to stack them up on each other. I'm going to glue that whole thing with the hot glue gun. Okay, yeah, it's on a power cord because it was almost empty, and I want the glue to be pretty hot, so that's why I did it like that. 1 dot here, 1 dot on the other side. Now quickly assemble the thing, putting the other block roll upon it. Now hold and press for a few seconds. And then we have the first part. I'm going to repeat the same steps on this side. Again, assembling. If you're not quick enough, or if you're doubting that you'll be quick enough, then just use wood glue. That works perfect well. And this will be the top section. It doesn't have to be that much glue, and I always do it on the edges, or I only do it on the edges. Now scrape away a little bit too much glue. I do that with my nail. And if necessary, you can always paint it. That is no big deal. Here, some more. And there. And now we have one big row of these blocks. Okay, and the idea is to glue these two to the walls of the blocks which are here. I'm in doubt if I want to use the hot glue gun or that I want to use the normal wood glue, and I think I'm going to do the last thing because these things are pretty heavy and I don't want it to fall apart, and that might happen if you're using the hot glue gun because the wood glue is simply stronger than the hot glue gun. So I'm going to put this off. There it is. And yeah, let's grab some hot glue or wood glue and also a brush. This here is the wood glue that Jenny and I use. It's also from the Action. And oh, there it goes. I'm going to try to leave these ones standing here because I measured that they're in the right position. Hope that will work. I'm going to add the glue. No, that won't work. Okay, then we have to do it by ourselves. I think it's the easiest and the smartest way to start gluing here alongside this part. The glue will dry it transparent. Don't use too much. I'm going to smudge it all over the surface. Just like so. Like this. I'm going to let it dry. Also do the other side as well. Then you let it dry for a few moments and then you can start assembling the whole thing. And then you have to leave it drying for, yeah, what shall we say, at least an hour I think with these blocks. But I'll try to do it longer just to make sure that it works. So there we have it, the other side glued as well. Okay, I'll be back when the whole thing is assembled. Just going to put this one and the other one back and then flap the edge, the plaques on the side. I think we have it. Carefully going to let it go. There it is. Can I turn it around? I think so, to show you the side. This is how it looks from the front. And yeah, now it has to dry pretty well. You can see some glue here and there. It's going to dry transparent. If you're not secure or sure about it, then I suggest just painting the edges again after the glue is dry. But first now let it dry really well. And yeah, we have to wait for that. Now taking you from this camera angle because then I can show you better what my idea is. Gluing these two here into the frame. The outside, these things are dry, but I still need to put them inside. So I'm going to use the hot glue gun for that. Only the two sides, a little bit glue, and then it should fit. Here you see the inside part. Just use 3 extra blocks for more strength in the whole construction. Yes, I think it's time to finish this thing off. Good, it's here. And now I want to make it a little bit more sophisticated before I start filling this basket up. I thought of a big printable here. And I can see what I'm going to see what I can make. If that won't work, I'll just also have wooden letters, but they are pretty small compared to how big this surface is. So yeah, I think I'm rather going for a printable today. Now I made such a cute printable with a free image and a loose label, yeah, well, edge frame, and I just added my own text in it. It was free to download. If you want the link, just ask and we'll write it down in the comment section. Okay, I'm going to cut it out and then I'll be using glue, aka fake Mod Podge here, to add it to our design. I decided to leave the side parts open with the chalkboard thing, because if you have a crayon or something, you can add your own price, for example, for your pastry that you're going to present, because that's what I want to do, presenting pastry in this kind of basket. Here it is, our printable. Let's try to glue it to the creation itself. And I'm going to grab some glue and 2 brushes, and then I'll be putting it in this place here. Here is our glue for today. I have a big brush and a smaller one. Yeah, I think I'll use the big one for gluing. Or, sorry, in the other direction. This one for gluing and this one for wiping out any air bubbles. Ta-da! Glue. Most important thing is that you glue the edges, but actually you have to glue everything. So just wipe out the glue throughout your whole printable. I always try to go not over the edges. Oh, mistake. Because that might ruin your print. Doesn't say that will always happen, but I had that sometimes that the ink starts doing weird. Okay. Now, grab your creation. Carefully see if you can lift up your printable. And then we are going to put it into the right place, which I think is about around here. A little bit more upwards. I think this is it. Let's do a quick check. Okay, this will do. Then start wiping away from the center towards the outer parts, just like so. Don't push hard, just a nice gentle press. And that's it then. Your printable attached to your project. Now that our basket is ready, I'd just like to start filling it up, and therefore I have these fake pastries. I have tiny breads and also tiny cakes and cupcakes. Let's see how we can arrange that into the basket. If necessary, you can also use napkins for, filling up the bottom part, for example. Let's see how we can arrange it, and then we're done. Also might work as a solid base is just a pillow cover. Let's just fold it. I'm going to do it differently. Fold the outer edges in where the zipper is. Here's the zipper line. Let's fold that in. Something like this. Now fold down the zipper line to the bottom section. Look, and then you have a really nice fluffy basis for your decor. So something like that. And then you can bring in the bread. Because I think that the bread is the nicest for me today. Look, you can squish it. It's super real. These are Kurt Adler Christmas ornaments. But here you can still see it. Inside there are plastic rings here. And there was a cord in there. But we like to use it all year round for a kitchen decor or something. Now, isn't this cute? I have 2 vanilla, 2 strawberry, and 2 chocolate ice breads. You can just place it in like this, or do whatever you like. Combine it with something else. Totally up to you. But you have such a cute basket this way. And here is the final result of the day. The bread basket, or the pastry basket, made from tumbling tower blocks and made from these cutting board things. You can still write something down on the side if you want to, or just use a printable. That is up to you. Well, we're curious about your opinion, so let us know what you think. or writing it down in the comment section. Let us know.